Today is an update on Verasity. I did this around 2 weeks ago, and ever since then we've had quite a good bit of bullish price action. I've popped up all the way from the lows. I mean, down here I did the video at around 1 cent, and we've popped all the way up to 1.9 cents. So that's nearly a 100% move, but we'll have a look at that price analysis shortly. First, I'll take a look at Bitcoin, cover that, and then we'll cover Verasity in both USDT and the BTC pairings. If you're new to this channel, then please make sure that you are subscribed, hit that like button, and let's crack on. As ever, we will start off by just checking out Bitcoin price analysis. I have done a video on that this morning if you want a more in-depth look at it. But we're just monitoring this area of resistance that we have hit at $46,000. We have rejected off it quite a few times. I mean, if you drop down into the hourly time frame, look how many times we've rejected off 46k. It's a strong level of resistance. So far, we've actually used this moving average 50 on the hourly time frame to bounce. So fingers crossed we do stay above that and we can reclaim that 46k shortly. But looking back on the daily, as you can see, this area is key. We've used it as support here and support all the way through there, and then even rejection there. So that is a clinical area. I think if we do push above that, we're going to go up to 51k area. That's a weekly level of resistance. But remember, we could still always come down. We have demand here at around 43,100. And we've got this moving average here, which is, I mean, we could drop lower on that, but there's always possibilities you could fill up around between 38 and 41k. So that's a bit of a scenario there. I'm more in favour of push to the upside. The markets are a little bit indecisive today, struggling to get through that 40k. Bears are 46k. Bears are keeping us well below and just keeping us out of sight of that 46k breakthrough. So fingers crossed we can break through that soon. And with that, if that does break through, inevitably it's going to bring all the altcoins with it. Just a key point to note before we jump onto Veracity, that today the fear and greed index is at 71%. That is climbing. We want it to be in the green. In the green, stay in the green. We want everybody to greedy and keep pushing that price up. So Veracity, let's have a look. We'll have a look at the USDT pair first, as ever, and then we'll look at the BTC pair. So last time we was looking at this, we was trading below this moving average 50. As you can see, we was bullish all the way up. And then we had that breakdown and we was on a bearish phase. As you can see, a rejection on that moving average there. And it's looking good. I mean, so far we have broken out of this. This does give you a good long-term perspective of where the price could go. If we just superimpose this 50 now, for example, that we are going to trade up for, you never know, we might break down. But if we are going to trade up, obviously we need to have a look at some areas we could get in first in terms of entry points. So for this, we'll have a look at the bottom of the move here, all the way to the top. We have hit up there 1.9 cent and rejected and come back down and tested this level here. If we just get that accurate. As you can see, that's pretty much near that 382 level. I think if you're looking for buys, I would still consider some buys around this region around here. So if you're looking for buys, maybe look at placing some here at around 0.015, so that's 1.5 cent. And I'd even have some down here at 0.012. I think those areas could be decent areas which you could potentially look at getting into before we do obviously rise up, because I'm, like I say, I'm more in favour of bullish price action at the minute. But if we do come down, then we use this 50 as support and start pushing up. So that's some areas which you could look at buying around anywhere from pretty much 1.5 cent all the way down to 1.2 cent. And I think if we did drop below this 50, I think it would just be a wick to the downside, pick up some liquidity around this area here, and then push back up. So that's a couple of buy zones within that range. That's a decent Fibonacci level as well. It's absolutely tapped that to a T. So that shows to me that that is a nice area of liquidity. If you look away through, we had quite a bit of trading within that range as well. And also, I would just like to put the moving average 200, which we are also above that as well. The 200 is also a great indication of bullish price action. Once we do trade above that, things are starting to look good. As you can see, we were trading below it for quite a while, around 6 to 8 weeks. We've popped above that now, and so fingers crossed that can stay there. That's been a bit of a bearish cross there, to be honest, but looks like it's coming back to form a bullish cross. I think Bitcoin as well, just jumping back to Bitcoin, yeah, that's about to form a cross as well. So once that forms, hopefully we will start to see this regain of price action. We will really start to push on. But going back to VRA, so that was some buy zones. take profit regions. We don't talk about them too many times, but for me, in my opinion, I think if you're looking to accumulate, then just look at levels of resistance. So obviously you can see Fibonacci's are good levels, but this level here at 2.3 cent looked a decent level. And I'm just going to box that off with a box method here. So if you look at these wicks here, 1, 2, we've got a wick through there, a wick there, and then we've got this Fibonacci level. So I think if you're looking to accumulate, will be some strong resistance around here. I mean, you could always drag it all the way through with that wick as well. And that wick, it bounced off at the support. So I think that's going to be the first major battle for us to break through at 2.3 cents. So if you're looking to accumulate your bag, maybe sell some here, wait for a retrace and then buy back in. Because ultimately, you don't want to be selling them and then you just blast right through it, do you? Because this is still early, and in my opinion, this is going to be like way up here. I mean, you're talking 50, 60 cent at some stage, probably towards the end of this bull run. So if you're looking to accumulate, only accumulate with a percentage of your bag, because you don't want to get caught red-handed with this shooting to oblivion. So yeah, some sell zones, that's the first major sell zone for me if you're looking to accumulate 2.3 cent. And then we've got buys down here at 1.5 to 1.2. So that's that pair pretty much covered. I'm not going to go too much into depth. I just want to look at buy zones and sell zones really. One key point to note here that the money flow is still in negative territory, but as you can see, it is starting to tick up. I think once this does get into the green side, as you can see it was here, throughout that entire bull run, then I think that once money flow resumes into the green, then we will really start to see that price rise on Veracity. So that's a few levels for you there. Just finish up by looking at a BTC pair. What's going on here? Let's have a zoom in. Absolutely no idea, so we'll get rid of that, and we'll get rid of that downtrend. As you can see on the BTC pair, we was actually trending down for a while, and then we broke to the upside, and again we are above that 200. One slight thing that's worrying me on the BTC pairs, I know a lot of people don't prefer to trade in BTC, but if you're looking to stack sats, it's a decent way to trade alts. I still think at some stage over the course of the next couple of months, Bitcoin is going to go on a rally. With that, the Bitcoin dominance will shoot back up. So if you're looking at a dominance here, I think there's a good possibility that Bitcoin dominance can either tap 52 or 56%, or 57 should I say. If that happens, the Satoshi pairs will start to feel the pain. And I've got this red level down here for some buys at 1700 Satoshis. I think that could be a decent level for you to buy. But what I'm also going to do is mark up the bottom of this move here. And that could also be a level 2. So if you're looking to buy in Satoshis, then just have some cheeky orders down at these levels. Anywhere from 2,500 down to 1,700. Might not happen, but if BTC does go on a run and pulls all the Satoshi pairs down, you might be looking to get some orders filled up down here. In terms of price action, well, where we need to break through to regain some bullish momentum, if you look at this wick here and that wick, we've got about 30 wicks within that range, and you could cover that area. That is the first major area to break through at around 4,700. So that's a sell zone there if you're looking to accumulate. I mean, we might have missed that because, as you can see, if you pick right, so we've already had that impulse move up. We've rejected off that resistance. We're coming back down. There's a good chance that on a retest we could break through. So just be wary of that as well. But buy zones down there just in case it does drop. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. That is just some analysis on Veracity in both USDT and the BTC pairings. If you're new to this channel, then please make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that like button, and I'll catch you next time.